So the RX 7700 XT and 7800 XT cards have been released some days ago, and since AMD did not send, nor AMD, not ASRock, not PowerColor, not Sapphire, basically nobody sent me a card to test previously to its release, I had to buy the card in order to make tests, and the tests will then come after this with the usual 40 games benchmarked, GPU comparisons, with smart access memory, without, overclocking tutorials and so on to see how further can we push this card, and so on, those will come. But firstly we have the unboxing to show you how the card is, and in my opinion the Sapphire Nitro model is one of the best looking cards that you have on the 7000 series. And you have other models like for example some Asus models, some PowerColor and mostly some ASRock models that are very nice, like the Taichi model, like the OC Formula 1, and even the Phantom Gaming is not bad at all, but the Nitro Plus is just so sleek, so clean, and it looks great. Almost as great as today's sponsor that also helped buying this card. Today's sponsor is Maximum Settings, a cloud-based gaming service where you won't need to spend thousands of dollars to upgrade your PC or a personal nuclear plant to boot up your system.
Just do it!
And for as low as 9.95 Canadian dollars a month, you can play the most recent games on your computer even if your hardware isn't prepared. And if you don't play that much, well, you can just use the hourly system for as little as 0.35 Canadian dollars. Sign up today for your full Linux gaming PC with no resource sharing and start enjoying high-level gaming on any PC. So now on the unboxing part finally we have the Nitro RX 7700 XT, and like I told you once again, I bought this card with my own money. I actually had the Pulse version costing, let's say 60, I believe that it was like 60 euros less, so 60 euros is a lot of money in a card in this price tag. We're talking about, let's say, almost 10% of a price difference, but the Nitro model is indeed much better and delivers things that the Pulse edition just can't. So that's why I actually bought the Nitro version, and I do not regret by any means. Now, firstly we start with the RX 7700 XT. Okay, the logo, then we have the Sapphire logo here, once again, then we have HDMI overclock, and then on the bottom we have 12 gigabytes, then ray tracing, Hyper RX, and Fidelity FX Super Resolution 3. So both Hyper RX and Fidelity FX Super Resolution 3 already go in the box of the new card because they're kind of selling points, I guess, so that's one of the reasons. As for the side, we have the usual RX 7700 XT 12 gigabytes, then we have the barcode and so on. On the other side, sorry about that, on the other side we have Sapphire Nitro Plus as well. Then we have some of the key features, let me just zoom in. Key features: 54 AMD RDNA 3 computer units with RT and AI accelerators, 48 AMD Infinity Cache technology, 48 megabytes, DisplayPort 2.1, AMD Radiance Display Engine, AMD Radeon Boost technology, and AMD Anti-Lag technology. Now we have the Radeon Boost Enhanced, and we have Anti-Lag Plus as well. As for the rear, we just have the RX 7700 XT, Sapphire Pantheon Plus or something like that. Then we have some things from Sapphire at the core. At the core of Sapphire Nitro graphics cards are technologies of the Nitro Plus house of the Pantheon. Pantheon guarantees supreme cooling technology and many distinct features, with each Nitro Plus iconic feature standing as strong as the pillars of the Pantheon. As for the advanced gaming, we have advanced gaming with AMD RDNA 3 architecture, with record and stream, crisp and clear, elevate your game, brilliant color accuracy, unified AMD performance, and high performance rendering. So we have Fidelity FX technologies, we have AMD smart technologies like smart access memory and the yet to come AMD smart access storage. Then we have noise suppression and so on. The card looks beautiful. The Sapphire Nitro version is just insanely good looking, and yet we don't have any kind of image of the card in the box, which is kind of, well, not comprehensible, at least in my book. Since the card looks so good, why not have it on the box itself? Yeah, Sapphire Nitro Plus. Yeah, let's open the box. And as usual with the Sapphire versions, we just have the normal cardboard box, not a black cardboard box, no symbols of Sapphire whatsoever. It's just a plain and simple and normal card box. Okay, it is nothing that we actually need, but I would expect for a premium product to have premium packaging as well, and that's something that's sadly not happening, okay? Let me just put it back to see what we got here. So firstly, we have the usual quick installation guide of the Sapphire's graphics card. Sorry about that. Here it is. I'm recording with the camera more on top, so I'm still adjusting to the angle. After this, we have the Nitro Plus synchronized addressable RGB effects with a motherboard. Basically, they bring an addressable RGB cable that you can connect to the motherboard in order to have your RGB effects syncing with the ones that you have on your computer, which is also a nice thing. We also have the BIOS switch, meaning that we actually have the first position is for the primary settings, the third position is for the secondary settings, and the third position is for the software switch mode. Please switch BIOS via try X primary settings, default, secondary settings, and okay. It seems we also get a support bracket, graphics card support bracket installation guide. In case you don't know how the installation of the bracket goes, you now have the installation guide for the bracket. Okay, it is already here and we have more accessories there. At least with the Nitro version we get more accessories, something that we don't actually get with the Pulse version, okay? It's 60 euros less, but you don't have any kind of accessories. So the first one that you have is actually the Sapphire anti-sag bracket. It's more or less like the ASRock one. It's literally just a piece of metal with some rubber here on this end in order to actually support the graphics card without doing any kind of vibration. And then you have the screw that adjusts, basically adjusts it, as you can see. This part is the one that actually screws to the graphics card in order to hold things together, this part here, and then this selects the, well, depending on the length of the card, you can use it or not. It's your choice. But well, you can adjust it at least. And of course, don't worry because the screws also come included, so there won't be any issues due to not having the exact screws. They are included for the bracket. As for the other accessories, I don't really know what we have here. Sincerely, I really don't. But it's not that heavy. Oh, it's the RGB cables, most likely, yes. Yeah, it's just the RGB cables. Nothing spectacular. I won't even bother to take them out of the box. I'll just leave it there. Let me just put it correctly. Yes. Very good. Now, finally, as for the GPU, let's finally open. Oh, this is massive. What the hell? This is bigger than I thought. Well, not bigger. It is just much thicker than I thought. That's what she said. Now, seriously. The card is not that big per se, but it is definitely thick as hell. It's much thicker than my reference 7900XT, and it's much thicker than the cards I'm used to have. Look at this. Look at this beauty. The Sapphire Nitro version is one of the best looking cards on the market, if not the best looking one, because most people can actually enjoy, let's say, a card like the Red Devil that has red and black accents. Yes, accents. But I myself, the card that I find most attractive in terms of design is definitely the Sapphire Nitro Plus. Look at this card. It just looks insane. Insanely well crafted, well designed. Look, with a cut for the air to vent out. The Sapphire logo on the top. Nothing astonishing, just a little RGB Sapphire logo on the top. We have a cut for the GPU die as well in order to improve the temperatures, which is also a nice touch, always a nice touch. Then we have the BIOS switch. I don't believe you can see the BIOS switch, but it is there. Oh, sorry about that, on the microphone. It is there, so BIOS switch. So basically just LED here with the Radeon logo and the Sapphire logo on the other end, and then a little RGB on the top. It just looks insanely good. And look at the thickness of this card. Look at this. This is a triple slot card, triple slot. It is just insane. 2x 8-pin power connection. Nothing out of this world, the usual. It also means that we can actually increase the power limits a bit more, maybe because this is a very high-end model. And let me tell you that with a cooler like this, we will most likely be able to push this card to, let's say, over 3 GHz if the binning of the card actually allows it, because in terms of cooling solutions, it will be more than enough. This is a monstrous cooler that would even cool down easily my 7900XT, let alone the 7700XT. As for the front, it is just normal closed front, nothing really astonishing. Triple slot for the I/O panel, and we have HDMI, DisplayPort and DisplayPort. So only 2 HDMIs and 2 DisplayPorts. USB Type-C would be good, but it seems that it just didn't happen. And the card is also pretty heavy. It must be like 5 kilos or something. It's really heavy. That's why we have the anti-sag bracket. And that's why I'm shaking in my hand. It's heavy. Now let's remove the plastics. And as you can see, it just looks great. And sadly, the camera can't capture the true essence of this card because it looks very, very good. And the part I like the most, sorry, is actually the backplate. It's just gorgeous. Definitely gorgeous. I'm a sucker for Sapphire's cards, although they don't send any, and they should. Well, they could at least, it would be nice. But anyway, let's just compare it, for example, in terms of size with some other cards. This one is the 4060, the RTX 4060 Ti that MSI actually sent. By the way, thanks MSI for sending the card once again. 8-pin power connection, triple fan design as well. It's basically longer than the 7700 XT, but not by much, maybe like 1 or 2 centimeters at most. But as we look into the thickness, for example, as we go into the thickness, the difference is clearly noticeable. Look at the difference. Well, maybe you can't really see, but in real life it is easily noticeable. Look at the ends of the cards, for example. You can see that the 7700 XT is much thicker than the 4060 Ti. Well, not astonishingly thicker, but definitely thicker and much heavier. This card, the 7700 XT, is much heavier than the 4060 Ti. Something that doesn't mean much. So by the way, thanks MSI for sending the 4060 Ti. I will also test it versus the 7700 XT, but I'll test firstly the 7700 XT and then the 4060 Ti to bring more benchmarks. And now if we compare these ones actually with the 6650 XT Nitro, this is also the Nitro version of the 6650 XT, as I told you before, and look at the difference, is like day and night. The 6650 XT is much shorter, of course, although it is quite thick as well, almost as thick as the 7700 XT, but it is much shorter because once again the power draw is also lower. But in terms of well, I believe that in terms of performance, the 7700 XT will be the best performer here in terms of cooling. But yeah, as you can see, much smaller. And the Sapphire cards actually have a design overall when going to the 7000 series, and let me tell you, the Nitro version just looks much better with the 7000 series than it did with the 6001. Just much better. And in terms of visuals, this card looks very good when connected to your computer. As you can see, for example, in the back, the card looks great with just an LED stripe. It's a very good mix of colors for any kind of computer. If you have, for example, a white case, it will fit completely with a white case. If you have, let's say, a black case, it will fit entirely as well with a grayish color pattern. And just to finish, I also want to tell you that although this card actually brings an anti-sag bracket, you don't actually need to use it because the structure of the card itself is very sturdy. So even without any kind of anti-sag bracket, the sag in the card will be really low. It will be almost non-existent, as the card is very sturdy and won't bend that much. And that's what I wanted to tell you, for you guys to not be afraid of not being able to use your anti-sag bracket or so on. It doesn't really matter because you don't need it. And well guys, thanks a lot for watching. That's all for today's unboxing. As always, I will then present a test. I will start testing this card, the 7700 XT. I will also later in the day, in some hours, I'll actually have kind of an interview. It's a live stream, but more like an interview with my friend Jerry from Top 3 Entertainment, I believe. And we'll be talking about how I started my channel, what I do, what I don't do. And I'll also leave the link in the description, and I'll leave in the community tab as well for you guys to see if you want to see it later. Okay, it will be a live stream event with a live interview. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video, and thank you for watching.